Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I did this before and I want to do this again, so I'm going to try to do this for all my stocks around the time they report earnings. I could be a day late, I could be on the day of, we'll see. But I completely forgot Allied Property had theirs today. On July 26th, they've posted, you see right here, the second quarter results. Now I have it all brought up here, which we're going to go through this compared to Q1. So Q1, what we all care about is how safe is the dividend. Well, year ending December, so we had 80.4. March, we had 78.2. And now, or sorry, for March, for 2023, sorry, this year, March, and then last year, March, 84.4%. Going to currently 83.9. So it's down 0.5%. Not a lot, but it's still a decrease, so we're happy with it. AFFO of 74,958 compared to 74,482. A nice little increase of about 500 million. You love to see it. And that also explains then why this has dropped 0.5. So going over pretty much everything else, there's nothing too crazy in here to go over. Now one thing, which is the very first thing right here, sale of the portfolio. The closing schedule for on or about August 16th of 2022. Allied's going to use 740 million to repay all amounts drawn on its unsecured credit facility. The amount of interest and money that is going to save them is insane. With the result that it will have no variable rate debt other than the 3 joint venture construction loans, which is whatever, and up to $900 million of available liquidity through the facility, basically through debt. Allied will set aside $200 million of the proceeds to repay a secured promissory note payable on December 31st, 2023. Awesome. And almost 50 million, or I'm rounding up, 49 million to repay its remaining first mortgages on fully owned properties next year. So the mortgages are going to be done for some of their fully owned properties. Allied will use the balance of the proceeds to fund its development and upgrade activity over the remainder of 2023 and 2024. Something you'll notice here, your boys left out the special dividend. So expect that in the call tomorrow. So as it says right here, the sale will result in a significant increase in taxable income in the fiscal 2023, requiring Allied to declare and pay a special distribution to all unit holders of record as at December 31st, 2023. Allied will determine how best to make the special dividend as the year unfolds. Now, what makes me curious is they say we'll set aside 200 million of proceeds to repay a secured promissory note. That's not the special dividend, by the way. With all of this done, they have about $360-ish million left. You take that, you divide it by the shares they had, which I rounded up is about 140. So let's do this right now. So we're going to go 740 plus 200 plus 49 minus 135. Oh, sorry. So yeah, it's $361 million left over, divided by shares. We're just going to do 140. We're going to round it up. Gives them per share $2.57 a share that they can pay in a special dividend. Will they do that the entire amount? I have no idea, and I feel like they might not. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. But a 2.57 special dividend at the current price of, what is it, 22.42 is an 11% gain like that. I can't snap my fingers, but basically like that, which is awesome to hear. Now, you should never buy a stock because there's a chance I'll pay a special dividend. Do your research, look into this, and enjoy it. Now, what I want to see is their debt. So this is, it's going to pay down unsecured credit facility. Oh, that's nice. They don't even... Really? They don't bring it up. Sorry, guys. It is way too hot in here. So they don't even bring it up. Nice. That's not annoying at all. Interest. Is 29 million. Or sorry, 26. I want to find your average interest rate, which I cannot seem to find. So far for the year, it's 28. Expense. The amount represents interest expense on Allied's joint venture investment in Telesky. That does not help us. Yeah, and it just loops around. Rate? Nice, it doesn't show. Maybe the Q1 will. Sorry, guys. I am determined to find us. Here we go. So 2%, 3, 4, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, and so on after. So the average is about 310. Where is your unsecured term loan? So I'm assuming it's going to be these two here. Senior unsecured loan 4.33. There you go. So they're going to pay off like a very, very nice chunk of debt. Now, with that, as a few people have said in the conversation here, that's going to affect their AFFO per share, which should then in turn make the dividend and the AFFO do better and keep the dividend more sustainable. Now, that could also hint that Allied might be able to continue the dividend that they've continued to pay for a long time and continue to hike it around the 2-3-ish%, maybe a bit less this time. Because they did do like 2 or like 1.97 or 96. They have never gone below that though, which is, you know, interesting to like view. So keep that in mind going forward. There's a small chance they might hike the dividend like 1%. And even if they do, you're still getting an amazing yield with it right now. But that should help the AFFO. That should help the payout ratio. Going to here, another thing I want to show you guys is units. Now, in units, they're actually bought back a few of their shares on a diluted basis. If I can find it. Right here, diluted. So, right here, on a diluted basis, they canceled 95,006 shares. And then on the basic, they've added 3,788, which is like nothing. Now, going down here, you can say this. The weighted average number of units includes units and exchangeable limited partner units. Were reclassed from non-controlling interest and equity to liability in the unanalyzed to an open-ended trust. So they're slightly buying back some shares, which is nice to see. They have this, everything for it right now is looking up. The leasable area is down. It's gone down. I think it's almost 1%, which is kind of scary. But overall, they've done a very decent job going through this, and they're still seeing growth in the rent per square foot, which I want to show you guys that if I can actually find it. Yeah, right here. So basically 2022 it was 2267, now it's 2351, an increase of 3.7%. The leased area is down 3.3%. This metric excludes the assets held for sale based on the asset held for sale classification at the end of each period. Highlights quite a lot, 2 renewals and then multiple different leases, which is awesome. And I see a residential in here now. So I'm kind of curious about that. I'm gonna wait for the earning call because I did not know they owned residential. But if there's a residential component of property, that's awesome. Leasing highlights and allies development portfolio, including lease of a huge amount of area to global electronics, tech, medical devices, restaurant, and a school board. Which this one is what they literally were announcing a while ago. So it's kind of awesome. But yeah, overall, they're calling for flat or like no growth at all, which sorry, it's going to be forced upon them because of buying back the debt. And if they actually use a lot of that money to buy back shares, they could artificially, pump up themselves. But overall, I'm still a fan of Allied, honestly. I know a lot of people hate it, but like as long as it stays like way down here at like an 8% yield, I say the yield and the risk is worth it, but that ultimately comes down to everyone and their own tolerance. I'm fine holding this with like even if they don't increase the dividend like at all. There's a whole like I have good yield, it's monthly income, don't care. So, but with that said, you all have yourself a good one. Again, Allied, I'm impressed by it. It's better than Q1. They actually sold the property. We have a legit closing date now. And I am hoping someone in the earning call tomorrow, because I'll be at work, so I can't join it, will bring up the special dividend and just be like, what's happening with it. The next one I have is Alaris Private Equity, which is August 2nd, PMZ and Main Street Capital on August 3rd, Decisive Dividend Corp, August 9th, Manulife Financial, August 9th, Canadian Net REIT, August 16th, and finishing up my portfolio, at least with earnings season, with Canadian Western Bank on September 1st. You all have yourself a really good one, and that's it for this video. Bye!